Welcome back to
Cozy Midnight Collective.
I'm Lauryn.
And I'm Morgan. Pull up a chair, dim the lights, and step into the archive with us.
Before we open tonight's file, we want to issue a full content warning. Tonight we are covering Djèlí Clark's dark fantasy novella, Ring Shout. Because this story confronts historical atrocities, this episode will contain explicit plot spoilers, discussions of systemic racism, hate groups, historical violence, and body horror. Please listen with care.
If you are ready to venture into the dark with us, tonight we are traveling back to 1915, Georgia. The cinematic classic, The Birth of a Nation, has just premiered, and it has unleashed something far worse than hatred. It has fed a cosmic, reality-warping evil that transforms men into literal, multi-eyed monsters known as the Ku Kluxes.
We are following a trio of badass monster hunters, Maryse, Sadie, and Chef, as they fight a secret war to stop literal hell on Earth. So grab your coffee, make sure the doors are locked, and let's start the clock.
Yay! It was such a good book.
Yeah.
So now, though, we're going to do
the Midnight Draw. Yep. We're doing the Crow Tarot. I already shuffled, so I picked mine first. So we've got the right side up Lovers, right side up Seven of Swords, and the 10 of Cups upright as well.
Okay, the Lovers, and it was upright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so element is air. On the surface, this card represents love and unity. However, it goes deeper as it also describes karmic passion and soul relationships that span lifetimes. The crows have traveled together through space and time. Drinking from the same heart binds them as their veins fill with the same life force, joining their spirit for eternity. Together, each decision is made as the outcome will forever affect them both. From the person you love to the place you settle down, this card asks that you examine your belief system and use your inner compass when deciding to join forces. The Lovers brings the message that some benefits and consequences will eventually reveal themselves for better or for worse. So keywords was love, business, partnership, choices, and relationships. The cunning trickster crow is trying to fly away with a stash of shiny swords before the other crows can get them, but there are too many for him to carry. Nonetheless, he is pleased with what he can take. The Seven of Swords denotes a person who is attempting to deceive you or is trying to get away with something unethical. If you are hoping to be able to trick or take advantage of a person, the Seven of Swords serves as a warning that your plans will fall through or you risk getting caught. So someone is not getting your shit. Good, fuck them. The happy couple sits on a budding branch of a cherry blossom tree watching their fledglings resting comfortably in their nest. The setting is one of peace and contentment. The couple achieve their dreams as each new day brings with it a feeling of love and fulfillment. The 10 of Cups denotes a time of utmost joy. Another message of this card may also be the romantic relationship is forming, one that could result in a lifelong love affair. No, we already know that's been budding for like ever. Take a moment to bask in the positive energy the 10 of Cups offers. Good luck will soon enter your home.
Cool.
Fuck yeah. And you're getting? Just kidding.
Probably. That's probably the look I'm getting.
So for me, we have the reverse Two of Wands. Also a Queen of Wands, but upright. And upright Magician.
The Two of Wands reversed is a message to look for areas in your life where you are reluctant to make a decision or cannot prioritize your goals. Okay, the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a dominant creature sitting on her throne of lions. No one would accuse this bird of being demure. With a plan ready for success, the Queen of Wands often appears as bold, fearless, and determined. The Queen appreciates the potential each journey offers and takes the opportunity to learn something new about herself with every challenge. The energy of the Queen of Wands is healthy and agile as she moves through the world with vibrant flair. With a taste for the best, this is one crow you won't find near the garbage cans as she uses her creative, quick-witted mind to discern the finer things in life.
There's a queen. Or like a crown. A queen crown.
Okay, so the Magician Element is air, and the keywords are alchemy, resourcefulness, creativeness, and manifesting. So, connecting the physical world with the spiritual realm, the Magician Crow pulls the energy of the four suits representing earth, water, and air, and fire to create a spark that has the power to manifest into a transformative idea. Rising above the craggy, desolate mountains lined by red and white roses at the base, the magician symbolizes the first steps of generating success. He has the ability to carve out the desired path through difficulty, using life experiences and a pure heart.
Yay.
Yeah.
That is me.
That was good.
I liked that. Yeah.
First things first, I want to, explain, because I didn't know what a ring shout was.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and basically a ring shout, it's something that people, I'm sure people still do it today, but I know that back in like Africa, it was kind of their way of speaking to like ancestors or ghosts,
super,
demons.
Like,
it's like
emotionally flooded kind of event that they put on. Yeah.
And so it's basically like a group of shouters will get together and they dance around in like a ring, and they sing songs,
tongues, sometimes,
chants,
probably, right?
Different languages sometimes. And they do use this in this book as like a way to
call upon
their ancestors and like just help from kind of like the other side. It is not hate magic, which is something that is pretty important to note, because we're going to be dealing with haints and monsters from other dimensions and that type of thing. And so it's just, I think it's kind of important that we like say that the ring shout is like just like their purest almost form of like worship,
and it's symbolic.
Very symbolic. So so that's kind of like what a ring shout is.
There's no like black magic or anything going on.
With that
being said,
this book is very short. It's a very short book.
Novella.
And I was very surprised at how much was able to
get across in that amount.
Like the amount of stuff that happened and was being able to be said, and like there wasn't really anything left like that wasn't taken care of. Like it was
very tight,
but it was very good. Like I said before, the way I describe it is kind of like a mix between like Sinners, because this was kind of like the thing that kind of sold it for me was, if you like Sinners, you'll like this. So there was Sinners. It kind of reminded me of like K-pop Demon Hunters with like the three badass women who like
and
hunt demons.
And there's singing involved. With one of the aunties. And so I kind of pictured Huntrix, not gonna lie.
And then Black Panther, because of like the multi-dimension type thing,
a world within a world that you don't know about.
Like in my mind, when she goes to visit the aunties, I literally saw it as like the purple, like when Black Panther takes the flower thing, and he has like the spiritual discussion with like his father and his ancestors and stuff. And I just thought it was really cool, because that's kind of like how I picture it in my mind, but like a plantation house, the tree like she was talking about. And so I just thought it was really amazing how much was able to be put in such a small novella, and I didn't feel like anything was left out. I thought it was really good. But I guess to kind of start some of the discussion is that so this is 1915, Macon, Georgia. Deep in the Jim Crow era, very
like they're
hate-filled time.
It's the country's definitely divided,
and they say that
and they're
all
murdering
of this
blacks. They're like hanging them up and doing all sorts of awful fucking shit to them, because the Ku Klux Klan is still a very active thing that's like not so underground. Like people are just like adamant neo-Nazis, basically. Just fucking terrible.
And so the way they say it started was with The Birth of a Nation. It's this movie. And very racist film, but it inspired a lot of misplaced fear in white people, basically saying that the Negroes are bad, they're evil, they're gonna murder your family.
They're gonna ruin everything.
Right. So it inspired a lot of hate. And so with that, like a dimension kind of opened up and these monsters came out
that feed
off of hate. They love hate.
That's
love
what they
hate.
literally consume.
It's what they consume. So
to stay alive.
Of course, the best place for them to feed off of that hate was within the Ku Klux Klan. And so
because
these monsters
so outright and overwhelming. Like, that's.
And so there are very few people who are born with this sight to be able to perceive these monsters, right? And so that kind of brings in, we've got Maryse, Sadie, and Chef. And they are like this trio of 3 badass women that,
and they're like around age 25.
Yeah, younger.
So,
but
they're adults. They're still young, but like they've seen some shit. They have this gift.
They've got a lot of stuff that kind of goes on. Like, we are introduced to Maryse, who's kind of like our main narrator. It's written in third person, but it's from her perspective. And she's kind of the leader of this little group. So she's got a sword that she can call forward when she needs to fight the Ku Kluxes.
And then it also will sometimes call to her.
Yes.
So the relationship is like...
It goes both ways, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you've got Sadie, who's like your expert marksman. She's good with a rifle. And then Chef is like the explosives master type person. She loves to blow shit up. And so Maryse has got a good head on her shoulders. She thinks things through. She kind of is the one that keeps them grounded. Sadie is, if she had her way, she would blow up a whole movie. Like, she says this multiple times.
Yeah.
She would blow up a whole movie theater that's showing the birth of a nation.
Yeah.
And kill all the Ku Kluxes that are in there. Chef is kind of like, she's a little more grounded too, but
Sadie has a hot head.
Yeah, Sadie's a hot head. And part of like her backstory too is that like the way I kind of took it was that her father was a white man who raped her mother. She was then born out of that. And then her mother ended up dying, and her grandfather, who was a pastor, raised her. And he, to this day, refuses to tell her who her actual father is because Sadie's too good of a shot.
Oh, yeah. She'll kill him.
She'll kill him. Yeah.
Good.
But he's a pastor, so he's like, he's not going to condone that. But
exactly. I mean, you can't condone murder, even though, like, it's such a line I'm not going to cross right now. But, like, we can't just kill people for being shitty people.
Well, and that's like something that comes up like towards the end of this book too. But so they are right where we meet them there. Oh, and then the other thing too with Maryse is that we know that she went through something as a child. And she has this book that she loves to read. It's like a collection of fairy tales. And she kind of has like an inner monologue that is the voice of her brother. And he refers to her as Bro Rabbit. And so there's that aspect. And then we know that Chef fought in World War I believe.
Yeah.
And I wasn't quite sure how that worked, but because she was like in the trenches, like she wasn't just like a nurse. Because back then, like, the women usually were like nurses or secretaries or whatever. So she was in the shit. She talks about how she was in the trenches.
When did World War I end? 1918. Okay. So, So maybe the war was still going on, because if it's 1915, maybe it was in the beginning and she like got out to do this with them, or we're just going to have to be, because I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it's not really stated specifically like what war. I just assumed it was World War I because it's before World War II.
Right.
It's like the 20s-ish. So, but anyway, so these women, badass.
Well, the book is also, you guys, like, it is history.
It is history.
Well.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, obviously it's a fictional book, but the history that they're basing it off of is still true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was cool also because,
yeah,
we need to know our Black history. So.
Yeah. So we basically find them. They're on a rooftop. They're watching this like Klan parade as it's going by. And they're...
Wait, I feel like, can I butt in? I feel like I want to share with you guys still. So these demons that come out, right, that came through the portal, when they feed on the hate from specifically the Ku Klux Klan people, right? So they take over their body, but they're not necessarily like present at all times. So the human is still a human, still themselves, like unaware that they've been essentially possessed.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the timing is right, like that demon will like bust out of that body
Mm-hmm.
and like just be full
free
on
to do whatever. Yeah.
doing whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so not every Ku Klux Klan human being, they're all fucking horrible,
but they're not all the
but
monsters.
they're not all the monsters.
Yeah,
so
which
I just
the monsters
wanted to
are.
clarify
Yeah,
that before we got going, because
yeah,
it's pretty important. So
yeah. Well, I mean,
there's other little things we're gonna have to like explain too,
Yeah.
but that's what we're here for.
Well, the other thing too is like they say that like the shape of their heads fits perfectly under the hood. Yeah,
but that's not like how it would be if they're not dressed in that attire. So I feel like once they bust out of the person, maybe that's like the natural shape then.
Yeah.
But they still like, they're still married. They talk about them like, do they still like do their husbandly duties and stuff? So it's like, yeah, how do they act around their family? Is their family like concerned? There could be another book about that other side, I'm sure.
Well,
but
they do talk about, so basically they're on the rooftop, they're watching this clan parade go by. Yeah. They have a dead dog it's being used as bait, because apparently they really like, not only do they go after, like they terrorize like the Black community, but they're also like, they just really like the taste of dog, and they don't understand why. Like it's something that they're literally debating as they're waiting to lure.
They're trying to get one to like bust out.
Because they know that they're nearby, they want to kill it, and they're just trying to, whittle them down as much as possible.
They go around spot to spot, like hunting as well. So wherever Nana Jean like has these, which we'll talk about her, but she has these visions and stuff, and she essentially sends them where they need to go, but they try to stick to that area, because there's other hunters like them with the gift in other parts of like the country. And like that area. So so the girls are posted up. They're literally debating like, why are they so in, like, why do they taste of dog? Like, do we taste like that? Is that what that is? Like, Sadie has very colorful vocabulary, which I'm not going to say what she says, but she basically is like just spouting off like the hard R N-word. And they're kind of like, you can't say that. And she's like, well, I'm Black, I can say what I want. But she's like, it depends on how you use the vowel, right? Is it capitalized? Is it not?
And so she's like, it's bad if it's like a capital N, but it's okay if it's like a lowercase n, and they're like, whatever. So Sadie's
and then
like,
they're like, white
like
people,
that.
It's always the capital, the big N. So, which I like learning that, like as a white person, I was like, oh, well, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
Her whole thing is just funny, but Maryse is just trying to read her book, and she's like, can y'all just like, let's just be quiet and just chill, wait, so she's very much so like just keeping the head of this. And so then here comes two Ku Kluxes, and they do like kind of shed out of their skin, and they start to dig into this dead dog. And so the girls are trying to be undercover with it to not, because like not only
like a scene, because there's an actual parade.
There's a parade literally down the block, and it turns like if you don't want any outside attention, especially from people who don't have the sight.
Yeah, because it just looks like they're murdering people.
Yeah, so they kind of start like this battle, right? You've got Sadie up top, and Chef has like her explosives as like a last resort, because it's loud. It makes a scene. And so she's kind of as a last resort. Maryse goes down, calls up forward her sword. She's able to take care of one, but then she gets like, there's like a really big one. They end up going into like this like abandoned factory, which is where they were posted on top. Fight ensues. She almost gets got for a second. Like it was looking kind of bad for her.
When she was in like the warehouse,
right? In the warehouse, by herself. Yeah, but then she was able to.
They're also not supposed, like they have
they're not supposed to be there. Yeah.
And like people die if you don't follow those. So
so like the other
she
two
almost got.
The other two are trying to come down like as quick as they can, but they're also like dealing with
their own
mess upstairs. And so we kind of see her in action. Badass bitch, like great with the sword. She does end up like decapitating the Ku Klux, and when that happens, they kind of turn into like ash, and like they kind of
like
float
dissipate
away. They are able to like harvest like some parts because they have like a lab back home. And so they're
trying to figure out what they are, how to kill them. They want them gone for good, so they're putting like time and research and money into
that's the other thing too, is they do know that like they are going to be doing like this like special showing of the birth of a nation, and they're kind of like trying to gear up for that because they know it's just going to make this like Ku Klux
that's
situation
how
a lot worse.
The first one happened. And
this one's supposed to be on like a bigger scale.
At the end of the book, we learn about that. How essentially the first one happened, and like this one, there's more power focusing to eat at the raw hate that's going to be like boiling over in that one area, because they're trying to get as many of these Ku Klux Klan and probably just anybody who's white that hates blacks. And like if they could fill up a whole fucking stadium, they would. They just want so many people because it's going to allow the possession of
and like
all.
that's the thing with this showing too, is it's kind of unheard of because normally they do them in like small theaters, but this one's supposed to be up like on a mountain, like in this like gorge area, and like they're gonna be able to project the movie onto
the mountain.
So they're kind of like kind of like gearing up for that. And so they get back to their like headquarters, and like while they're there, they kind of walk into like a ring shout as it's taking place. You've got Nana Jean, who's leading the ring shout, and she's what they call a Gullah woman. And so she kind of speaks
Gullah.
And it's, and I will say it's kind of difficult to read, and like you kind of have to like clear your mind to like get past like how difficult it can be to understand. But
it's its own language.
But this woman, from what you understand, she cares for these girls deeply. She, she's very, she gets after them when they like decide to take chances that they shouldn't take.
What's her face's aunt from Huntrix. So like
Rumi's,
Rumi's aunt. I know I'm making another reference.
But she's
everybody
just kind of like
who has like kids that age knows. But it's like, the aunt that keeps it together, that knows all the ins and outs, keeps them as a group. And
no, you're right. And she's just very like, she's also kind of like an auntie, so she like, gets after them when they take chances they're not supposed to be taking. She's very adamant about their safety. She does not like hate magic, and she's kind of getting after Maryse for like going off on her own, and she's kind of like, better, you should stick together. So I had the sword, I'm good. And she said, I don't like that hate magic, I don't like you messing around with that stuff. And she's just kind of like, I know, like, but she doesn't like that Maryse, because Maryse, they kind of allude to the fact that she did make a deal with these haints, but she calls them the aunties. And they're the ones who bestowed the power of the sword onto her.
Did she find him first, though? Nana Jean? We found out at the end of the book, like, she knew well before.
Nana Jean knew her, but she was going off on, like, she was off doing her own thing, and she's kind of doing it recklessly and, like, with, like, hatred in her heart. And then Nana Jean did find her. She was already given the power of the sword by that point. And so she was just going around going crazy.
Because the sword came that night 7 years ago, right? Okay.
So back to this part. So she, they see the ring shout, they are talking about like those last mission they did. And then the other thing they do too is they make like this, for like a lack of better terms, like it's just kind of like a holy water type thing. And so they kind of run it.
Basically.
They run it like moonshine. Because it's very potent, like, it's supposed to help protect you when you drink it. And so they kind of bring it around to like the black communities in the area. And sometimes they drive like really far, and they deliver like a load of water. And so, yeah, so that's kind of like their...
Did they... I don't remember. Is it explained, like, when they drink it, it protects from getting, not possessed, but just, like, murdered by one?
Yeah, it's just, it kind of, like, it, like, casts, like, a protection over their, like, their spirit. So it's, like, less likely for them to be...
Or if something
like,
happens to them,
by these things. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of both, where it's like it's just a protection thing. It just kind of masks them from
because they never really went
the outside
into
influence.
It too deep.
Yeah,
like what happens when they drink it, how to drink it, when.
Yeah,
all that
it's
stuff.
it's just kind of like a side gig that they have. Yeah. So then they get called out to the lab and they find like one of their friends who's like she's like this cute little nerdy woman. She doesn't have the sight, so she like made this like mask that helps her see the Ku Kluxes, and she's explaining that the Ku Kluxes are their body composition down to their cells is changing to adapt so that it's harder for them to be seen even with the sight. Like it's like they're becoming the humans that they inhabit. So there's that aspect that they're kind of worried about. And so they kind of have that in the back of their mind and they're like, okay, we get this.
They brought some of like the one that they had killed.
Yeah. So that's what she was looking at. And she put it in jars and stuff like that. And so she's just kind of explaining like, this is going to start getting tougher. So
we have that other pot stirring back there.
So they're kind of like, you know what? We earned a night out. Let's go to the juke joint. And the juke joint is owned by Maryse's like situationship kind of. Yeah. He is supposed to be this like really handsome, like everybody thinks he's hot. He's only got eyes for Maryse. Chef is into the ladies, and so she kind of likes to flirt with like one of the lab assistants. And then Sadie's got like this really sweet guy that she kind of like keeps stringing along, but she's like seems like just like this cute, lovable nerd and stuff. And so they all go to the juke joint. They're having some drinks.
They're dancing.
Everybody's dancing, having a good time. Maryse ends up hooking up with her little
Is it George
beau.
Michael? Or
Yeah, George Michael. Or Michael George. It's one of the two.
George Michael. I don't know.
Yeah, he and her end up having a pretty good night, right?
Yeah,
and she likes it because I think he's like Jamaican or something like that. And so she asked him to
did he speak Gullah too?
He doesn't speak Gullah. I want to say it's like...
It's okay.
Voodoo type. I don't know. She just thinks he's hot. And so she asks him to like speak like his like native tongue to her as he's given tongue to her. And so they like, it's just like this cute little thing. And she goes to sleep. And when she goes to sleep, she is taken back to, she has a nightmare.
The in-between.
Yeah. She has like a nightmare. And in the nightmare, she's like looking at her younger self. Yeah.
That's kind of how I figured it. There's so many different visions that keep popping up in my head for me to make this work, but like the nightmare like shifts her into this space where she is but more of like apparition, not apparition, but kind of how I picture like if you're doing like remote viewing, and then if you were to like be somewhere, like it's kind of like that,
because she's talking to her like younger self, right, and like she knows that her younger self is scared and she's holding the sword, and she's kind of like she's pretty mean to her younger self. Yeah,
she's angry with her.
She's like, get up.
She doesn't want. She continues to like haunt her, and she's just like. Essentially, it's her not wanting to confront her past and like figure that out, and so it keeps like haunting her. And it wasn't even the right age. So
she
like
kept
yells
making
at
her smaller. She looked at her as like an 11-year-old girl, but then we find out like she was actually like 16, 17 years old when this horrible tragedy happened. In this dream, she's like the younger version of her is saying like, well, he's here, like he's out there. And so she goes out to the barn and she can hear like a thump sound, and it's like meaty and like, and she opens up the door and she finds this big like dude,
But not a dude.
But he's not a dude. But he like turns around and looks at her, and he's like,
and then she sees him, and he's
this huge, just jacked dude, because she doesn't fully understand like who and what he is.
So it's like, picture the body shape of that, but then like he only had the mouths everywhere, right?
Not yet, because she doesn't see the mouths until she goes to the butcher shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she just sees this big beefy dude. She knows something's not right about him, and he looks right at her, and she's like, "You're not normally here." And he kind of is saying like, "Prepare yourself. You and I are going to be talking soon." Like, and she's kind of like, "I want nothing to do with you." And he's like, "You have no choice. You're going to be, you and I are going to be talking." And so he kind of like leaves her with that. And so she wakes up, and then she sees her sword. Mind you, she's with Michael, George, whatever. Yeah. He's asleep. She's asleep. And so he does not know what she does for a living.
Right.
Everybody kind of knows that she's kind of like witchy. Like they kind of refer to her as like a witch.
Yeah.
He does not know what she's doing in her free time. Yeah. And so she sees the sword is sitting there, and she's like, okay, the aunties are calling me.
Yeah.
She goes and grabs the sword, and then she's then transported to like this in-between world. Yeah. And this is where I was like the Black Panther thing, right? But it's like this beautiful plantation type house, right? There's like a table out on like this like beautiful lawn.
Under an oak tree.
Under a big oak tree. Yeah. There's two aunties sitting here. One is like up in the tree. I just want to have this up so I can remember their names. So we've got the aunties. There's Auntie Jadine. She only talks in songs. You've got Auntie Margaret, and then Auntie Odine. And so
Odine is super nice. Margaret's super like she's a little snippy, like irritated, sassy all the time.
Yeah. Like okay, to bring another reference in, it reminds me of Jet and the other aunt in Practical Magic. How one of them's like a little bit grumpier and sassier, and then the other one's like really sweet and kind. That's those two, and then you've got Auntie Jadine, who's just a little crazy. Like she literally just talks in song. So they called her forward, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she's like, "Well, I had a dream, right? And it was this guy. He had to meet Cleaver, and they're kind of like looking at each other, and they're like, Butcher Clyde."
Yeah, and they're like, "That was not a dream."
Yeah, and they're kind of asking her like, "Okay, what did he say to you? Did he give you anything to eat? Did he give you anything to drink? Like, did you take anything from him?" Maryse is like, "Of course I didn't." But she's like, something's not right about him. And they're saying like, well,
and she does know. He had basically in the dream told her he wanted her on like his team.
Yeah. And she's like, what does this mean? And they're kind of like, okay, honestly, we don't really know what this means. Things are a little hazy. We can feel it, but we can't see anything. And they're like, that's rare for us. They can see everything. Like they literally make comments about how she was like, they were like, we heard you grunting and carrying on with your man, but they were saying, and it's cute because they're like, well, honey, if my man looked like that, I'd be grunting and carrying on as much, like, as long as the day is whatever. So they basically tell her,
and there they control their environment, so they would just like make it be day and so
we have to remember these are haints, right? Yes. They are like Nana Jean does not like them very much.
Approve of them.
But she doesn't approve of like any hate magic. But these women so far seem to have her best interests at heart, and they are really trying to guide her. And like they basically,
so she tolerates it.
Yeah, they named her their champion who fights kind of like in their name. That's why they gave her access to the sword and all that stuff. And with that, they kind of come with like their wisdom and stuff like that. But Maryse has to remind herself that they are not human. They're not normal. And there's like a moment where she says that back a couple visits ago, like she kind of tried to look at them out of the corner of her eye, and they weren't like the cute aunties and like the pretty dresses that they present themselves to be to her.
Like they have fox teeth.
Yeah, and they're like
what she says,
huge, and like she's just kind of like she never did that again because she's like, I don't want to break this illusion that I have in front of me. But and in this they give her sweet tea and like they just they just sit and they're having a good time, and like it just seems like they're having like a little afternoon chat. But at the end of this chat, they basically tell her, stay away from Butcher Clyde.
Yes.
Do not go near him.
Yeah.
And she don't listen.
No. She does what she won't.
She comes back and, you know, she goes back to Nana Jean's. Nana Jean also tells her, stay away from Butcher Clyde. That's one thing that these women and I will agree on. Stay away from him.
Yes.
Maryse don't listen. So she goes to, she knows that in town there's like a new butcher shop that opened up, and the butcher is there, right? So she literally walks into this white-owned, white-only butcher shop.
And she can see that it's
middle of the day.
Yeah.
Her sword is out for everybody to see. And she walks in and she's like, you and I need to talk.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody's like, what are you doing here? Like, get out.
And then he's like, hold the fuck
like,
up.
it's okay, everybody. It's okay. He's like, I'll handle this, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, this butcher shop is popping.
Yeah.
Okay? There's people everywhere. There's people in line. There's a line that goes around the corner. Yeah, people are eating. Like, it's just like this crazy, like, it's crazy busy and packed. And they go to a table, sit down. They've got people watching them. But he's like, okay, cool. You found me, right? And she says, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. What do you want?
Her words, she does not sit around and make idle chat. No. She's literally like, get to the point. What do you want?
Yes.
And he basically says, well, before those aunties of yours got a hold of you, I wanted you as my champion.
Yeah.
And Maryse is like, why would I ever fight for you? Why would I ever do anything in your name? You are part of the clan. You
literally vomit
terrorizing
hate.
Black people.
Yeah.
You are so full of hate. I want nothing to do with you. And he says, well, you're also full of hate. He said, your hate is a special kind. And he's like, I want it. I want you. I want you to come to my side. And she's like, no, you're high. I'm not coming to help you. And he's like, reveals himself to her. And he's got mouths all over his body. And they
oh my God, it's disgusting. And then there's a really big mouth.
Yeah, there's a big mouth like in his belly.
And so
he's just made up of mouths. Like his eyes disappear and he's got eyes or mouths for eyes. Like literally the cover.
Look at the cover of the
makes book. all like now it makes sense, right? And so he's just like this really icky, gross guy. And she's kind of like, what are you planning? What is going to happen at the birth of a nation? And he's kind of like, I mean, you'll have to wait
because he's the one like promoting it.
Yeah, he's being very vague about what his plans are. The only thing he really tells her is like, you come over to my side, and he's like, I'll leave your people alone, right? And she's like, why would I believe that? You guys have been literally terrorizing us for so long. And he basically tells her like, it's not that we like eating Black people, right? He's like, we don't really care. Yeah, we'll get whatever we can get. But they said the hatred is so strong, and they said your people have so much hate. Yeah, you know, look at what they've been doing to you for ages, right? He's kind of like, why not? He's like, we'll do this for you. You know, we'll start taking out white people for you, pretty much. And she's kind of like, you can go fuck yourself. Yeah, and he's like, okay. He's like, well, you'll see it my way eventually, right? And so she's kind of left with this like ominous message. She goes back to headquarters, right? Sadie, Chef, everybody's there. And Nana Jean was like, what did we tell you? Told you not to go. Don't go messing with the butcher. And even Maryse is like, yeah, I shouldn't have gone. Seen his mouths? But she's like, he's disgusting. And she's like,
he makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, she's like, something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, he's planning something. He's up to no fucking good.
So we need to prepare, right? And so they're kind of talking about like bringing like their people in onto like the headquarters land. They're kind of talking about
even
how they're
like
do
people
that
from outside of making.
Yeah, they're just trying to get as many people as safe as possible. And then there's a knock on the door, and it's one of like, you know, the little boys that kind of runs around, delivers messages, and he says,
little pigeon,
Frenchie's on fire. Frenchie's is on fire, which is the name of the juke joint.
The juke joint, where they all had a real good time the night before.
Yeah.
So they get there and
they rush there.
Disaster.
It's on fire, right? There's some people trapped inside.
Running out, running everywhere.
Ku Kluxes is everywhere. The KKK is everywhere.
People are literally burning.
Yeah. So Sadie and Maryse immediately take off inside, right? They start escorting people out. They hear people upstairs, and her, like, Maryse is only, she just wants Michael George.
Yeah.
Where is he? She's like,
he's the owner.
Yeah. And she's like thinking about the fact how like he had offered like, let's be together. She had always, she just kind of kept like pushing him away, like, no. But now she's like, oh my God, like we never got to have that talk. She's like, I need him now. Yeah. So she's looking for him. They go upstairs. Everything's on fire. There's smoke everywhere, fire on both sides. They find a couple who were upstairs using one of the rooms, and they're about to get attacked by
a Ku Klux.
By a Ku Klux, yeah. And so there are some people who, like, if they get scared enough or, like, something will happen where they, like, the sight is just kind of, like, thrust on them. Yeah. Right? So these people have just, like, unintentionally gained the sight. There was also a woman in the butcher shop. Yeah, a white woman in the butcher shop also got the sight that, like, that day. And she's kind of like, now you know, right? This is what's going on. But, so her and Sadie they kill this you know, Ku Klux, but then the hallway just starts getting filled with more of them. Like there's so many that they're like tumbling over each other.
Yeah. I picture, you know, like
Huntrix,
Huntrix on the train when they're like flooding out. Like that's literally what I picture.
That's exactly what I pictured too. And so, they're literally like toppling over each other. Like Sadie's like, I can hold them off, get the couple downstairs, just get them down there. And so Maryse is like, I'll be right back.
Yep.
So she hears just gunshots. Boom, 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 boom. Gets the couple out. Goes to run back upstairs, and she's kind of like, okay, did Sadie come out behind me? She's like, okay, she didn't. So she goes running back upstairs, sees a giant pile of dead Ku Kluxes, and then she sees Sadie at the end of the hall. And she's laying there. She's thinking like, okay, maybe she passed out from the smoke. She goes to move her. Sadie is like holding her stomach
together,
and basically she moves her arm, and like she's just cut open. Like and so Maryse is like, okay, let's go. Out. Like I can get you out of here.
Like, no, I cannot.
Sadie's
move.
Like, I don't even know if my legs work right now. Like it's not gonna happen.
Like, no, you're gonna have to leave me to die.
It's so devastating because she has this like moment with Sadie. And Sadie is pretty much tells her, she's like, y'all better have a really good funeral for me. Make sure that, you know, my boo thing, make sure he cries hard.
He can't.
Make sure
he can't, like, the next two can't last.
Yeah, like, he's like, make sure I ruin the next two women for him. Just throw me a good funeral.
Yeah.
And then Sadie dies. And then another thing she just says, too, is like, she said this in the beginning of the book, and then she said this right before she died, was her grandpa used to tell her that when the white people brought black people over from Africa on the boat, they cut off the wings of black people. And they said that they like to believe that when they died, they get their wings back. And so she said that maybe when I die, I'll get my wings back and I'll fly to go see my mom.
Yeah.
She dies. And Maryse is like, fuck this. Fuck everybody.
Yeah.
She jumps like out the window, lands, and
on her feet because she's a cat.
Comes face to face with Butcher Clyde. Yeah. And Butcher Clyde, she can't find Michael George anywhere. He's gone. Yeah. And so are a few other people. She has no idea where they're at. So she goes up to him and she's like, where the fuck is Michael George? I told you to leave my people alone. And he says, if you join me, I'll give him back to you. Yeah. And she's like, I'm not going to fucking join you, bro. Like, what are you not understanding? And so she goes to fight him.
He keeps talking about an offer.
Yeah, an offer. She goes to fight him, and her sword breaks, like, into thousands of tiny pieces. Like, there's no using this thing. Yeah. And as he's, like, fighting her and as her sword breaks, like, he starts singing, I think. It's, like, either singing or speaking in, like, his weird...
It like it hurts
dialect.
Ears, though,
it hurts her ears, and then she can't
kind of
move.
A shriek.
Yeah, she can't move.
Yeah,
and like all the mouths are moving, and so they've got a hold of her, and she's thinking like, "Oh fuck, this is the end of me."
Yeah,
and then there's an explosive, and then here comes Chef. Yeah, so Chef
interrupts,
comes in for the rescue, and then he's like, "Okay," he's like, "It's okay, I'll see you. Don't worry, we still have time." You know. And so Chef and Maryse
move on to the next big one.
So then some more fucked up shit happens. So the aunties are able to call her. She goes and speaks to the aunties. Nana Jean, by the way, is a mess back home at the headquarters. She's sobbing. Everybody's devastated. Yeah. They're having kind of like a funeral type ring shout situation.
Trying to put
everybody's
something together
down
already for Sadie.
Yeah. And so she goes to see the aunties and she's like, bro, what the hell was that?
Yeah, like why
and
could
they're
you
like,
not have warned me?
They're all wearing like black. They're no longer in like the pretty, you know, it's like just black. They're all sad. They're all in mourning.
They change for like however Maryse is feeling.
They kind of back up the Butcher story saying like, yes, we chose you as our champion. You know, we knew that you had what it takes to, you know, fix this type of stuff and be a victor.
Basically. Yeah.
And they said that, like, yes, you could, if you had gone over to his side, then you would have been kind of like their harbinger of hate and that type of thing. And so Maryse is like, what can we do?
Right.
Because, like, he's been talking about, like, this Grand Cyclops situation, and that doesn't sound too good. And they're kind of like, okay, well, maybe the doctors, but they're like, oh, no, that's worse. Yeah. And she's like, well, what are the doctors? And they're kind of like, girl, I don't think you want anything to do with them. They said they are another type of creature that also feed off of hate, but they are bad. They're very bad news. And if you are on the wrong end of them, that's it. Like, it's a wrap. Like, you're fucked. Yeah. Right? And
they sound so horrifying.
Yeah. And so Maryse is kind of like, I don't see any other choice, right? So
we need something that's worse to get rid of the terrible.
Yeah. So they go back. She goes back to headquarters, tells Nana Jean what they said, and Nana Jean pretty much gives her consent. So, you know, we know that she talked to, because we did talk about that. We know she talked to the aunties. They told her, like, you really don't want to open up this can of worms because in some ways they are worse than the Butcher and whatever he's got coming.
Because they also feed off of fear. Like, that's also their, like,
the hatred,
our hatred that is delectful, like delightful to them.
Yeah. And she kind of discovers that she has to go on this journey on her own. She did talk to the Gullah woman, and she told her, like, you know, Chef wanted to go with her. You know, they're really trying anything they can. They want to get revenge for Sadie, and they really just want to do whatever they can. Like, they really figured out that the Butcher is not, he's more than just like the normal Ku Kluxes that they've been dealing with. So
they're putting like all of the pieces together from when the Ku Kluxes appeared originally and like what took place, and then that's how they figured out like the movie and like how that's all spawning. Yeah. She wants like a quick remedy. She needs help because she doesn't have enough help, especially since
her sword's
Sadie
gone.
Died. Her sword's gone, and so she doesn't want to resort to using some other type of witchcraft essentially to like summon these night doctors. And, like, but if they're the only thing that's gonna work, she's like, well, this is literally a last option, but we are here,
and this is also
we have to use this option, and we're just fucked.
Yeah. And then there's also this, like, she's playing into the hatred too. Like, she's very angry. They got her man. They took one of her best friends. You know, she's very angry and she's very hateful right now. And
they're loving it.
And that's part of like why he wants her so bad, right? Yeah. So she starts walking to go find these night doctors.
It's so interesting though that her hate is so different than, because there's other people that are probably feeling the same type of hate for the same shit that she does, but something about hers is just
so perfect.
Exquisite.
And that's also why like the aunties were so drawn to her, was like her story in addition to Butcher Clyde, and like he's wanting her too. So it's like they see qualities in her in two different ways. Like they see her hatred as like a tool not to spread more hatred. They like the aunties are using it as kind of like a, you're our champion to help turn things around and make this different.
Like an
versus versus with Butcher Clyde, like he's wanting to usher in a bigger thing than just the Ku Kluxes, because the Ku Kluxes are like the foot soldiers. They're very low on the totem pole. Yeah. They're fucked
hierarchy.
Up. Yeah.
Well, they're just like the dogs, right? And so they're what gets, all right, go demolish everything, and then when we walk through, we can pick off on what's remaining.
Yeah.
You know?
She's told that she has to go on this journey by herself. So she starts the journey, and she's kind of like unsure of what to expect. Mm-hmm. Like she doesn't know, she doesn't understand like what she's supposed to be dealing, like, you know, yeah, it's just very unsure. But she knows that she has to look for like this like tree. Mm-hmm. It's like a sacred mm-hmm. tree, and that is kind of like her gateway into this other dimension where the night doctors live.
Yeah.
So
like it's a veil she has to mm-hmm. walk through.
Yeah. So she goes through this veil. She's walking, and then she ends up coming up to, wasn't it like a house or something like that? Or wasn't it like a...
wasn't there like a red door? Or...
Yeah, something like that. But like she wasn't sure, like, do I knock? Like, do I just walk in? Yeah. Like, how do I do this? And then she's kind of like brought through almost, like mm-hmm. against...
Somehow... whoever mm-hmm. realized she was there and was like, oh yes, mm-hmm.
we were expecting you. Yeah.
You.
She gets sucked into like this house. She's like kind of walking through trying to figure out like where she's at, like where are these night doctors at.
Yeah.
And then she gets introduced to this really interesting character who I think it was the aunties that brought him up to mm-hmm. her. While she finds the name, it's interesting about this character because he is somebody who exists.
Was it Bennett or
Dr. Bennett?
Bissett, Bissett.
Yes, Dr. Bissett, yes. So Dr. Bissett is a character who actually exists in the future. So like mm-hmm. 20, 30 years after this current date, he exists in the future. He's like somebody who likes to study things, and he kind of does it through any means necessary. Like he has this theory about how different fluids in the body mm-hmm. can pretty much hold different forms of like energy and also emotion. So mm-hmm. like it's kind of interesting. It's also kind of because he brings up like semen, and then he talks about like the blood, and then he mm-hmm. talks about like saliva
from that.
Yeah. And so he's just somebody that kind of experiments, and he also is kind of like a spokesperson for the night doctors. And so she's talking to him about the night doctors, and she's like, I have a problem. The Butcher Clyde has got my people. The Ku Kluxes are like kind of taking over everything. And she's kind of like, I hear that your night doctors like the taste of hate. Like they like to feed off of hate. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, yeah, they do. And she says, okay, so how about you guys come help us? And he says, well, I mean, as enticing of an offer as that is, this doesn't just come like for free. You know, you have mm-hmm. to go meet the night doctors. They need to kind of take a look at you, and they need to determine whether or not you're worth helping.
Right.
And he does kind of warn her. He says, like, I don't, like, you know, it is a power that is intense, right? You know? And so he says, like, it has to be, like, the right kind of hate. So she's kind of like, okay, like, let's just go talk to your night doctors. And so as they're going through, you know, she's very angry, and he brings her into, like, this room, and she finds herself being, like, thrown onto, like, a table almost. Mm-hmm. And she says that she can feel them, like, and they're like these...
Poking and prodding.
Yeah, they're poking and prodding at her, and she can feel them, like, opening her up and pulling out her...
So I actually have it right here. Mm-hmm. So in my head, memories flash, watching a mob hunt down colored folk in Elaine, Arkansas. Well, okay, so she, like, gets thrust mm-hmm. into, like, when my misery, my pain served up to these monsters on a plate. They read it all, like some witch sorting through a gutted possum. They cut and take, pulling out my bladder and ropes of glistening intestines until I'm screaming, even with my mouth closed, mm-hmm. singing to them in a misery I've seen. Somehow I can hear it echoing through their white halls until blackness takes me. It's fucked.
Yeah. And mm-hmm. so, like, with that, they are going inside of her mind and her memories.
Yes.
And we already talked before about how she has dreams of her past, and she sees herself as, like, this young little girl on the night that and we get, you know, she kind of talks about, like we said, her inner monologue is kind of like mm-hmm. in the voice of her brother, and we kind of figure out that he's died, but we don't know how, we don't know what happened.
We don't know any of the story.
And so she is now being forced to confront that night, which is obviously a very terrible night for her. And we figure out that she wasn't actually like a little girl when this night happened. It was like a couple years ago. Like she was
right. It was 7 years ago.
Yeah, she was like 17 years old or something like that. So she's old enough to where she feels like if she was old enough, she should have been able to do more. But she was so terrified that she didn't do anything, right? So Dr. Bissett is with her as she's walking through this memory. And she's like telling the little girl version of herself, who is now the 17-year-old version of herself, to shut up, keep your mouth shut, don't talk about it. We don't deal with it.
Yeah.
Shove it down. We're not doing this. Yeah. And Dr. Bissett says, if you want our help, you're going to let them take a look. Yeah. Right? And so she's kind of having...
no other choice.
You have no choice. I mean, and what are you going to do?
Right.
Like, how are you going to get out of this? Right?
Right.
So they're walking through, and we know that the Klan had come to her house. They busted down the door. Her brother had hidden her, like, under the floorboards. And so her brother, like, immediately was, like, shot. Like, like, just... killed right off the bat. Or no, her dad. Her dad's the one who opened the door. They shot and killed him. Then they took her father, took her brother, and I believe her mother.
Yes. All three.
And they took them out to the barn and they hung them. Strung them up in the barn and hung them.
Yeah.
And they just left them there.
Yeah.
To rot pretty much. And so she had come out.
And that wasn't like demonic Ku Kluxes.
Mm-mm.
It was
like just the regular
the KKK
shitty ass Klan.
just came and obliterated and
her whole family
bloodline pretty much.
Yeah, so she again the whole shame of it is that she had the sword at the time. She didn't know. It was
brand new to her. She didn't
brand
know
new to her. Yeah, didn't know
what was happening.
The significance of it. Didn't understand
she didn't know how
why
to use
she
it.
had this.
She didn't have bravery. Nothing.
Had no idea. So she does end up going out to the barn, and she has to look and see her family that are gone, dead, hung in front of her. And her thing is she now has to live with the fact that she could have done something. She didn't.
But she really couldn't have.
She couldn't have.
She was frozen.
They took out 3 family members.
Like, she would have died.
She would have died, yeah. But to her, that's not good enough. She said, I should have at least died with them that night.
Yeah.
And so, as she's facing this, she's like very angry. She's distraught. She's hurt. She hates. She's having to relive this. And Dr. Bissett is kind of like, yeah. This is kind of what we needed, you know? And she's like getting more and more angry that they keep poking, and they're like almost making this memory and this horrible
intensifying
thing like their thing. And like they're just like, they just keep digging and poking, and like they're experimenting with it. They're toying with it. And she's like,
that's enough.
That's enough. This is my pain, my history.
Didn't she stab?
Yeah. So she ended up like getting the sword. She was
able to break out of whatever like trance that they induce for them to like go memory picking and pain picking, which has like never been done before. No one's been able to do that.
Some people don't survive it. Yeah. Like the doctors also said, like, if you survive this, then maybe we'll decide to help you. But it's still very much so maybe. It's up in the air.
Yeah.
But she comes out of this trance with her sword, the one that broke when Butcher Clyde was messing with her.
Yeah.
So she comes out with a sword, and she does stab one of the night doctors.
Yeah.
And the sword is like bright, like daylight bright. It's brighter than it's ever shown before. And Dr. Bissett like snatches her up, throws her out of the house. And she's like, okay, are you going to help me or not? He was like, you're lucky we're letting you leave.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, this has never been done before. We don't know what to do with you. You need to fucking go.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of like, but we had like a deal. And he was like, I mean, yeah, but
no.
But no.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And so she goes home.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, well, I guess we're just going to have to do this without the help of the night doctors. So she's got her sword now. She hasn't talked to the aunties yet. But they're kind of like, we need to go because the showing of this movie is happening tomorrow night. And it's about like a 6-hour drive away. So every able-bodied person they have that has like the sight
needs to come.
Everybody's going. The Gullah woman is going. Nana Jean, right? Nana Jean's going. The ring shouters are going. All the elders are going. Everybody's going.
Yep.
Right? Chef has got a shit ton of bombs. Like, we're ready to go. They're ready for war, right? It starts pouring down rain as soon as they get there. The more able-bodied people start making the hike up the mountain. They drop off Nana Jean and the ring shouters like in a safe area.
Yeah.
They're going to do what they can.
Yeah.
over here. So they get to this gorge pretty much, and there is like a show, like a projector that's like projecting the movie on like this like cliffside.
Yeah, like a mountain.
Yeah. And
the rock.
Yeah. And there's like thousands of clan members. And a lot of them are wearing hoods. Some of them are just there. There's just thousands and thousands, like just too many of them. And they're kind of like, this is gonna suck. And then seeing up in the front of all of these gathered
all gonna die
racists is Butcher Clyde. And he's like pretty much preaching to the crowd as the movie's going on.
Getting them hyped up.
But the thing is that these people aren't like cheering and shouting like you would think they would be.
No.
They're all just like blankly staring. And it's eerie. And they're like, and the ones with the sight, they can look out across the crowd and they can see like the shifting faces between the bodies that are inhabited. And like
he's trying to inhabit
Ku Kluxes,
them all.
So he knows that she's there, and then also behind him there's 5
stage,
people,
right?
Yeah, on the stage there's 5 people with hoods
that they took.
Yeah, and she's kind of trying to see like which one is George Michael, but she can't, or Michael George can't quite tell. She's like, I have to get closer, and Chef's like, well, I'm coming with you, and she tries to fight it, and it's funny because she says like,
Chef's like, if you would,
I'll beat the piss out of you for one if you leave me here. And she's kind of like, I could tussle with her, but she's like, then I'll be too tired. She'll beat my ass and I'll be too tired. So Chef's coming along, I guess. And so they go up to the stage, and again, nobody is moving. Like she thought that she would get like somebody trying to stop her.
Yeah.
Nothing. She gets up to the stage. Butcher Clyde is like, oh, thank God you're here. You know, we've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Have you given me your choice yet? And she's still like, fuck you. I'm not joining you. I'm not going to help you with any of this.
Still.
And he says, okay. He says, well, what we're doing here is we're trying to bring in the Grand Cyclops or whatever. And it's like this beast that again feeds on the hate. And he says like, here's what we'll do. He's like, we've got all of these people here. Okay. He says, here's what we can do for you. We'll switch over to your side, right? He's like, imagine how great it would feel to finally get revenge on the people that have been hurting your people for years, right? He's like, let's use your hate. He's like, you guys have plenty of hate. Yeah. There's no way you don't have hate.
We'll flip-flop it.
Flip-flop it, yeah. And he's like, if you just give us your hate and your anger.
We'd prefer to eat you, but because like black folks hate and pain is something
far greater
than they can get from like the white man, but they will gladly like flip sides and go after and kill all the whites instead. Yeah.
And again, she's like, no. Yeah. Like our hate, yes, we have hatred, but we also have like kind of like a greater purpose in life other than just hating everybody, you know? And so he's like, well, could have done this easy way, but I guess we're going to have to do it the hard way. And
he's throwing a temper tantrum.
He basically calls forward the Grand Cyclops. And the Grand Cyclops is
it was so trippy.
Disgusting creature that and he calls it a her.
Feeding the Grand... Okay, so...
Yeah, he was feeding...
Rewind. When he was in his butcher shop and he was chopping up all the meat that had eyes in it, right? Or it was squealing.
Yeah, it was like weird meat. And the people that were eating it couldn't tell what it was.
They couldn't see it. That makes me think, like, what the fuck about us and our
what
real
are
life?
we eating?
Like, Don, I know if there's some shit we can't see. That's wild.
Yeah.
But anyways, he was feeding it to the people that, like, obviously ate there. And then, like, the mass of people, I think that was at the mountain, wasn't he, like, feeding them on the mountain or something, too?
Yeah, so they had all pretty much ingested a piece of the Grand Cyclops.
And so that's how she starts to...
like, mold together
and
with
then
these
she's,
people.
like, in each of them, and they've digested her. She's now, like, taking over their nervous system and, like, telling them to all walk into each other into, like, a big blob.
Yeah, they turn, pretty much into a giant blob. Yeah. And, like...
of arms and legs and heads and mouths and everything. Could you imagine?
And so something happens where like the stage ends up like either blowing up or like the Grand Cyclops had been thrown into the stage or something like that. But like the stage gets crumpled. All the people that were on it are like buried under all this rubble. Chef is like in the rubble. And so Maryse is like having to face this thing on
Like,
her own
yeah.
for a minute. And she's putting in the work, right? She's cutting bits off, and like it's kind of like getting a little bit subdued, but it's still really big. And so as she's fighting, she gets this moment where she can hear Nana Jean.
Yeah.
And she's like calling.
Yeah.
Right? And as she's calling, she's like noticing that there's like these glowing spirits kind of coming up. And we realize that one of them is Sadie.
Yes.
So Sadie is there, and she's kind of like, oh, you want to see something great?
Yeah.
And Maryse is like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And basically Nana Jean has started this ring shout where she called forward to all of like their fallen brothers and sisters, ancestors, everybody, and they come up and they start helping, and they're pretty much taking out all of like the members that haven't been formed into the Grand Cyclops.
They're picking them
They're
off.
picking them off, kind of like pretty much like destroying the Grand Cyclops piece that's inside of them. And then they're also kind of working on bits and pieces. And mind you, this Grand Cyclops is huge at this point.
Well, it's thousands and thousands, tens of
people.
thousands of bodies.
And so Maryse is like, okay, we have like kind of a better chance. And so she knows we need to get rid of Butcher Clyde. If that's what's going to stop all of this. So she's kind of focusing her attention on Butcher Clyde while also trying to deal with like the Grand Cyclops at the same time. And there's a point where she can feel like the presence of her brothers that are helping. And then there's like, and then it's kind of looking kind of dire for them because like they're starting to go down, like their people are starting to go down. Chef's run out of bombs at this point. Like, it's not looking too good. And then in come the Night Doctors. And the Night Doctors come in. And then they start feeding on, like, the hatred and, like, all that stuff. And they're doing pretty much what they agreed to do.
Yeah.
And they're, like, fucking up the place, right?
Yeah. People are fucking dying.
They're not touching any of her
Butcher
people.
Clyde is, like, tripping.
He's tripping. He's going crazy.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, he's like, you're coming with me. Like, we're going to fucking do this. And she's like, no, we're not. And so Dr. Bissett is there. And then she starts just like hacking Butcher Clyde to pieces with her sword. Like, she's cutting off, like, she's like, this is for Sadie. This is for this. This is for who? You know, and so she's just like cutting him up to pieces. And as he's getting cut up, like, they're kind of starting to drift away in the ashes. Like, with a like, you know, they'll kind of drift away. Yeah. Like
fall apart. And like how a vampire would in the sun.
Yeah. And she's like hacking them to pieces. And then she, like, there's like one last little piece. And I think Dr. Bissett had taken that piece because he wanted to experiment on it. And he's kind of like, I wish I had more material. And she's like, sorry, I got a little carried away. But like, fuck this guy. And he's kind of like, yeah, no, you're right. And so he's kind of like, well, congratulations, you won. And he's like, me and my people are going to go back to our spot. You do what you need to do over here. And he's like, you know, maybe we'll be in touch. Maybe we won't. You know, he's like, just keep in mind. We're around, right? So they disappear, go into their own spot.
We're always with you.
And like the KKK members are starting to kind of wake up, and they're kind of like, what the fuck just happened? And some of these people end up getting the sight. So like they kind of saw what all took place. And they're kind of like, oh, fuck. And Maryse is kind of like, hopefully this is your guys' like come to God moment. And you guys figure your shit out, right? But she's looking for Michael George. And like she does find him. He's okay. Chef's okay. The people that they came for are all okay. But then she's looking over her shoulder. And Sadie is like, hey, I'm happy. Everything's fine. I got my wings, you know? And she said, I'm happy. She said,
there's literally nothing.
Don't forget about my funeral. There's nothing you could have done.
I chose it. I knew the risk. I'm went in
happy.
Willingly.
Yeah, she's very happy. She's at peace. And then she said, there's somebody who would also like to talk to you. And then coming forward is the spirit of Maryse's brother. And she's like, oh, she's so happy. She apologizes again. She's like, I'm so sorry. I should have done more. And he says, no. Like, and he calls her Bro Rabbit. No, Bro Rabbit, you're good. He said, there's nothing you could have done. You would have died along with us, and we're much happier to see you here doing what you're doing. You obviously had a greater purpose in life. We're okay. And she's kind of like our mom and dad here. And he said, well, not all of us are able to come forward when we're called. But he said, I'll make sure to tell them. And he said, they told me to tell you that they love you. They are not mad at you. They don't blame you. They're very proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so she gets closure on that end as far as that whole dark part of her goes. And yeah, so like the battle ends. Everybody goes home. And then we kind of get like an epilogue where she talks about like the aftermath of everything. And Sadie was very big on like the government, right? She thought that maybe the Ku Kluxes were a government experiment gone wrong. Yeah. And she was kind of right, because like the government came to the gorge where the movie showing was, and they like cleared everything out. They went to Butcher Clyde's butcher shop, cleared everything out, took samples out. Like they took everything and they erased it as like a fire or something like that had happened. So like lots of lives lost.
Super shady,
super weird. And they're kind of like, okay, we have an eye on that, I guess. Yeah. And then
like obviously somebody within the government was the one that like
they at least knew,
like summoned Butcher Clyde or some shit.
Yeah, so either they did that or they definitely knew about it and they decided not to help.
Yeah.
Or they're working on it, but they're not sharing any of that knowledge with anybody. And so they're kind of like, okay, we got to keep an eye on that. And then we find out that Maryse and Michael George kind of had like a conversation. Yeah. They decided that they're going to work on being together,
being romantic.
But she still very much so has work to do. Like just because this battle ended, like there's still Ku Kluxes around. They're still having to deal with that type of stuff. She does have like one last conversation with the aunties, and they're kind of telling her like, hey, we still want you to kind of be our champion. We have something kind of going up like up in the north. If you could go check that out. And she's kind of like, well, yeah, I can do that, but I have a funeral to plan. Yeah. And Chef and I are going to go see a movie. Yeah. And they're kind of like, why would you, like, because they're talking about seeing that movie. And they're like, why would you want to go watch that movie? Yeah. She's like, well, we're actually going to blow the theater up. That's what Sadie would have wanted. Yeah. So they're planning on going to do that. And so she's kind of is like, I'll take care of your issue at another time. But like right now, like I need to be with my people. I need to help train my people and just be happy with my people. And like, we're just going to kind of go on in that way. And yeah, so the book ends there. I kind of like, I know that this is a novella, but it's like they set up for maybe not like a sequel, but like I'm just saying like we could have like more adventures, I guess. Yeah, like maybe like multiple novellas where it's like maybe they go take care of the government situation. Yeah. Or they go up north and deal with that. I mean, I would even take a book of them planning the funeral and blowing up the movie theater.
I know,
like,
right? It was so good.
It was really good. Like, and I felt like they packed so much into a little book without it being overwhelming or feeling like there was anything that was like, because like obviously it left on like, I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but like open-ended. But I still felt satisfied with it. Right. And I didn't expect that because it's such a small book. Yeah. I thought that it was going to leave something out.
No, I thought it was brilliantly done. It was really sad. Just like history in general, like I know it's not like nonfiction completely, but like just knowing that it can get worse. You know?
Well, I mean, like for my thing is like to kind of talk about, because Sinners is everybody always said like, you know, if you like Sinners, you'll like this book, right? And obviously the vampire stuff was terrifying. Yeah. But like the scariest part to me was the fact that this guy from the clan sold them the juke joint. Yeah. And his whole plan the whole time was to ambush them coming out. Like they were going to go kill everybody in that juke joint. Yeah. And that to me is like the scariest part.
That people can just be so
disgusting. Like, yeah. And cruel. And I always say like racism doesn't make sense to me because it's like, you're mad at me because I was born with brown skin. Like you're mad at me because
did you get to choose?
You didn't get to choose. Like it, and it's like I don't understand. It will never make sense to me, and it'll never make sense to me to justify the hatred and
it doesn't
the cruelty because of skin color. Like it doesn't make sense. It'll never make sense to me. But I'm also not a racist asshole. So.
Right. You're not. And it's like, I don't know. It probably started because somebody obviously thought that they were better and they ran across somebody else that like spoke different than them and did things different than them, and then they decided to judge that their way was the better way, and so they must be the better species, and it's fucking stupid.
Or just because like you cut us all open, we all look exactly the same on the inside. We have
like we all shit from
the blood, and we all got the organs. Like it's just it doesn't it just doesn't make sense to me.
Literally the same.
And
I'm sorry, you guys have to deal with it. It's fucking bullshit.
I mean, looking on it too, like some of it is really horrific. Like it's worse than a grand cyclops, you know, like at least with this they had, I mean, not even with that, because like a lot of these people, they were taking over bad people, you know,
but they've done it in so many other ways, like the Tuskegee experiment. Like there's so many things where it's like, even when slavery was like long gone and abolished, that other things remain that were just as fucked up, that ethnically and culturally are not okay. You know, and so anywho.
No, I know. It's just, it's hard. And it is like, you know, just thinking back on like that history, which really didn't happen too long ago. You know, like, yes, we can say that it's, at least we don't have Jim Crow anymore. At least we don't have like the sundown towns anymore. But you cannot deny that it did happen. Yes, it's a long time ago for some of us. But for others, like there's still people that were alive during some of that, you know, that, I mean, they're older now.
Yeah, they're almost gone.
Almost gone. But it's like, it really wasn't that long ago. And I do think it's important to still talk about it, you know, and I do think it's important to just teach our kids, just, you don't have to like everybody, right?
Yeah.
But everybody is, no matter what they look like, what their ethnicity is, their background, like whatever, everybody's entitled to a basic form of decency until they prove to you that they are not. You know, I'm not going to say you have to be friends with everybody. But everybody gets like basic respect until they earn your disrespect. That's what I teach my kids. But
it's a good lesson.
But I mean, as far as rating goes, how would you rate it?
Gibbous.
Yeah, I'd say too. Yeah, Gibbous. Really good. Really well done. I wish it was longer. I think that's like my only complaint is like I kind of wanted a little more.
I think I was okay with the length because going into it, we knew it was a novella. And so I was excited to see how they outlined it in the amount of pages that they had. So I thought it was really...
That's fair.
Executed. Well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Bravo.
Really like it. Like it a lot. Yeah, so good. I recommend it. Especially because it is a little bit shorter. Yeah, like maybe some people...
If you're a really fast reader and you have like a flight to go on, it would be a perfect book.
Yeah.
You learn a little bit of the history, but then you also have all the ghoulish monsters.
Yeah.
And there was some, like, it was a different form of horror because...
Like body horror type stuff,
it was wild. Because I was like, I couldn't imagine that. And I love it when people, like, bring me something I couldn't possibly imagine.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that, I guess, like especially with like how Butcher Clyde is supposed to look. Like I wasn't expecting all the mouths, and then
and
how like the grand cyclops.
I'm like, that one, ew. And like you're by the belly button. Is there a belly button? Like sweat? How does that work?
Gross. Yeah.
Are you constantly like swallowing all those mouths? Do they have spit? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So many questions.
And that is a wrap on our deep dive into Ring Shout, a short book that packs an absolute heavyweight punch of history and cosmic horror.
As you've probably already seen on our socials, our next archive file is officially open. Next week, we are launching into The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart. This kicks off a massive new series for us, and we are going to be covering her work across the entire months of July, August, and September.
Grab your copies and get ready to step into the New Orleans Bayou with us next week. If you want to dive deeper into our community reading schedules or check out our exclusive visual companion guides, join the Inner Circle over on Patreon.
And as always, if you have your own real-life unexplainable encounter, drop them in our anonymous Midnight Confessions link down below. Hit that like and subscribe.
Yes. So thank you for spending your midnight hour with us. Sleep well if you can.
And remember, some stories are meant to haunt you. Bye.